Hey guys, what's going on? It is Shard here, back again with a new video on this channel. So today's video is actually going to be about the main issue, in my opinion, in Pembroke Pines. Now, before I do start this video, make sure to drop a like if you haven't already, and also make sure to join my Discord servers, and the links are in the description below. And also, I do just want to address that this video has no hate intended towards the developers at all. In my opinion, Pembroke Pines is honestly a great game after trying it out for the past couple of weeks. And I honestly don't think it's bad at all, and it definitely has so much potential, but I'm just going to be addressing, in my opinion, the main problem that I've been having with the game. And yeah, let's get into it. So the problem that I'm going to be addressing is the game performance, aka how much frames I get in the game, and overall how well the game actually performs. So for those of you who don't know, my PC is pretty good. I have a GTX 1650 Super, a Ryzen 5 3600, blah blah blah. For those of you who know stuff about PCs, you guys probably know. But yeah, so I don't have the most overpowered PC, but it's good enough, right? It can run most games at high to epic graphics at more than 60 FPS, some even over 100. So my PC is pretty good, right? But Pembroke Pines, for some reason, it just doesn't perform that well on my PC. Now, I'm currently in a private server, and when I'm looking in this direction, I'm getting about 35 FPS, which obviously isn't that bad. And as well, when I look this way, I'm getting 60 to 70, which obviously isn't that bad. But when I'm in public servers, I can look in this direction, and I'll probably be getting about 15 to 17 FPS. And it is just really bad overall. It's just a pretty bad experience. And not very fun to play when my frames are that low. Right now, my frames aren't bad at all. It's very playable, very smooth, But whenever I'm in a public server, at least, or in a filled up roleplay server, the frames are not good at all. But instead of me just sitting here complaining and saying how bad they are the whole video, I kind of want to go how into depth, I guess you could say, on how they could fix it and what they could do to actually make the performance a little better. So the first thing that I have here is in the settings. Now, for those of you who don't know, the settings haven't even actually been released yet. So that since they haven't been released, if they haven't thought of this already, I would recommend adding some optimization settings into these settings. Now, some of these may revolve around things like render distance, shading, all that sort of stuff, kind of similar to how Greenville has it with their settings. Sort of similar to that, where they have a lot of options for what you can do with your graphics to make the game perform better. And overall, I feel like that by itself would improve it by quite a lot, because yes, you can obviously just change your graphics in game, but the problem to that is that it makes your overall even your actual game just look bad overall. For example, this car is very pixelated on my screen, and it would be good if they could just have a render distance option, and so then you could keep all the quality that you have at max graphics, but then the game doesn't have to render out all this stuff at the same time. As you guys can see here, I'm getting 23 FPS when I look that way. That is 22 actually. That just is not very good at all. And this is a private server as well. And then also it's just removing a lot of unnecessary things from the game. So for example, removing a lot of the trees and stuff that aren't really being used. For example, all of these trees in those paddock areas, no, there's not really much of a point of having them there, because they're just taking up performance and stuff that when you're not even driving around that area. And maybe even just reducing the trees in the actual city itself. And you may wonder, why am I going after trees? Well, trees in games, and Roblox at least, do take up quite a bit of FPS. And I know this for a fact because when Greenville removed a lot of their trees, the performance of the game did rise by quite a lot. So trees definitely do play a big part in the performance of your game. So yeah. And also other things, for example, vehicle interiors, those can take up quite a lot of the performance as well. That's why Greenville only does interiors for convertible cars, compared to Pembroke Pines, which has interiors for pretty much every single car in the game, even if they're not convertibles. And I know that the interiors aren't that detailed and stuff that, but still, either way, it probably does take up quite a bit of resources. And then the next thing that I want to go into is the amount of prop buildings that are in the game. So yes, there are a lot of buildings that you can actually go inside of, for example, this building over here, which I'm pretty sure is a church, if I'm not wrong. But if we go over here, we have two massive prop buildings, and even though there's not this doesn't look that bad, if you count up all of the prop buildings all together, it will definitely take up quite a bit of performance and also just more rendering and stuff like that. And it's just overall not needed, to be honest. And it would just be great if they could reduce the amount of prop buildings, especially since they don't even get used, since you can't go inside of them or anything like that. Also with houses that you can't even go inside of, like for example, that house has an interior, but then those couple of houses don't. Like, I don't see the point really of having them if they don't even have interiors. And I get it's kind of like meant to fill up the place and make it look more lively, but I mean, like, I don't know, it's just not really worth it in my opinion, because it just makes the game perform worse and worse every single time. Also, another thing that I want to get into, and also something that is extremely doable, is the server size. So like the size of the servers and how much people can fit inside of each server. So for those of you who don't know, Pembroke Pines fits about 35 people into a server at max, compared to games like Greenville, which only hold about 25 people. And the thing is that a lot of people complain to Greenville how low how low their servers fit people, like how low the amount of people can go into their servers is. Except, to be honest, I definitely don't disagree with Greenville at all on this one. And the reason why is because that if they bring it anywhere higher than that, then you'd be surprised, but the performance of the actual game would drop by quite a lot, and it overall just wouldn't be as good of a playing experience. And even now, for some people, Greenville is also like quite laggy. It's not that bad, to be honest, but it can also be quite laggy sometimes. So them having their player count at 25 max is a lot better than having it anywhere above that. And that's what I think Pembroke should do. Like, they should reduce the max player count to like 25 people or less. And I know this won't take effect in private servers like the one that I'm in right now, but in public servers it will definitely help and make it a lot less laggier in the long run. But yeah guys, that's basically all for this video. Again, if you did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, and again, no hate to the developers, and also if they can't do some of the stuff that I put in this video, then that's completely fine. There are kind of just some suggestions from me, I guess, and what I think could be good for the game and its performance. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching, and see you later, and goodbye.